Hello, Void. So, still at it. Alright, so, I don't know if you've been following this for a while. Most people don't. I mean, most people don't watch my show. I don't expect people to watch my show. Anyway, I've been watching through the Friday the 13th films. Now, there was a very long gap there of me not watching any. And that's because I just had trouble getting up the urge to watch this one. Because, while on its own, it's a decent film. I just always had problems feeling it as a Friday the 13th film. And that is 1993's Jason Goes to Hell. Okay, so this one is weird. And I don't know if it's for the best there. Okay, Jason Goes to Hell. It's, again, a Friday the 13th that barely has Jason in it. And not in the cool way that A New Beginning did. Okay. So, first off, the title Jason Goes to Hell. Okay, first off, Jason's not in hell in this movie. So, minus 50 points right there. So, Jason Goes to Hell. They, essentially, New Line Cinemas acquired the rights to Jason. So, they could make their own Friday the 13th movies. Or could they? Well, they acquired the rights to Jason, but not to the Friday the 13th name. So, for this one and the next film, they could not actually call it Friday the 13th. So, they called it Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. It is not the final Friday. But this is the second time they've claimed to be the final, but here we are. So, this one, I do like the beginning, where they set up that now people are very well aware of Jason. And essentially they lure him out with a fake camper scenario, and then pretty much have the military just blow him to pieces. Okay. However, Jason's heart still continues to beat, and as they take all his pieces back to the coroner, well, there seems to be some sort of strong hypnotic pull around his heart, and, well, guy picks it up and eats Jason's heart, effectively becoming Jason, as Jason now has possessed him. If he looks in the mirror, he looks like Jason. But otherwise, we have a string of new people that are acting like Jason. So Cade Hodder, despite reprising his role as Jason, is only Jason sometimes in this film. But a lot of other people are Jason. Or at least Jason riding in someone else. Are you with me? Meanwhile, we have a bounty hunter, Creighton Duke, which, one, cool name. Two, this character is by far and away the most interesting part of it. I would watch a series of this guy hunting down famous killers just because he is cool. Creighton Duke was played by Stephen Williams, and he does a great job in this. Anyway, is saying that he's the only one who knows how to kill Jason, and, well, but he's not going to tell anyone, but if someone pays his fee, he'll hunt down Jason. Well, they all no, we already killed Jason, no problem there. But then Jason, killings start happening all over again. Meanwhile, we seem to be following some melodrama otherwise of a couple that's separated. A man is determined to get back, to protect his former wife and daughter, despite, having been, I can't remember, I think he was, he's just coming back. I think he was maybe in prison for a while. I can't really recall. It's complicated. Jason's essentially half-sister, because I guess he's got a half-sister now, is the lady in question that, so his daughter, is it half-sister? Nah, it's, her mother was, I think it's his niece? Anyway, it's complicated Jason family stuff. That Jason essentially can only be killed by another Vorhees. is what Duke posits, and he's got a special knife to do it with. But meanwhile, well, Jason's bodies that he's in will continue to fall apart, so he's trying to get reborn and can only do that through another Vorhees. He seems to spread himself by, like, regurgitating this little demon worm that's the true Jason into other people. Well, it doesn't have to be a live Vorhees that he gets into, so after he manages to kill one, well, away we go. But this is, they seem to be trying to, one thing that they started was trying to bring Jason into the Evil Dead universe for some reason. Essentially, the dagger that they want to kill him with is pretty much the Kandarian dagger from Evil Dead, and they're pretty much trying to make Jason into a Deadite. But, because they were trying to do a spin-off, which they later went into the comics, which was like Ash versus Freddy versus Jason. Anyway, it gets complicated. So, yeah, it's this movie's like an acid trip. The kills are fine, but since it's Jason without Jason, you're taking out the fun, so it's just a random killer that is possessed by Jason. It loses that visual flair. So, this one, for me, just wasn't working. The demon angle, I was okay with Jason being this undead killer, but trying to make him a demon just really didn't fit for me. And they never touch on this again in any of the later, like there's not very much later. So they don't really touch on Freddy vs. Jason and or Jason X. So while Halloween is known to be doing some reboots, Friday the 13th is so chronologically confused it's hard to maintain any sort of time frame here. And this one just makes it worse by seeming to be a weird evolutionary dead end, yet I don't know. Jason Goes to Hell is weird. For me, I can still give it 5 MacGuffins because as a film, if it was any other killer other than if it was its own thing, it would work fine for me. And I would not have a lot of these problems. But because it is established as Friday the 13th and Jason, or the final Friday, since we legally can't call it Friday the 13th, it just doesn't fit. I mean, a serial killer demon body hopping or trying to get reborn, yeah, I'm down with that. I've seen Fallen. I am down with this. Not so much here. But, yeah. So I can give it 5 MacGuffins because it's a fine film, just not a fine Friday the 13th film. Alright. See you soon, Boyd.